Hello! Hello, everyone! Welcome back to D6, where I, RGM, bring together a bunch of friends from across the internet to play on a D&D live stream show. Yes! Okay.
Good evening.
So there's that. We're back.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening,
good afternoon.
everyone. Don't do this to me. Don't. My time dilation is already weird enough.
You wanted to play people from different time zones. That's your choice.
Right. It's gonna be 6 p.m. by the time this comes out.
True.
So before we jump on into game, we do have a couple of announcements letting everybody know. We are not going to be live on the 6th starting next month. At the start of next month, mainly because of scheduling stuff. So if you guys are wondering where we'll be for about a week, that's about it. But just keep in mind, there's going to be updates that come along, and also with this break I'll be able to collect some of my notes and get everything together, so that is going to be some D6 news. Also, on top of that, I want to give a special thank you to our wonderful friend John Taylor, who has given us some music.
Ooh.
First music for the campaign. Super exciting for me. And also, on top of that, we want to give a huge shout out to our wonderful friends over at Gamer Subs.
Woo!
There's no commercial. There's no commercial ad this time. Last week was the only time. I ain't got no script this week. But yes, in case you guys may not know, Gamer Subs, or supplements, as Connor puts it, is a wonderful little energy powder, as well as selling these beautiful waifu cups. Basically 100 milligrams per scoop, which is 1.6 grams, which is significantly less compared to so many others, and nootropics to keep you from getting the shakes. It's sugar-free, so it's keto and diabetic friendly. There are tons of amazing flavors you can choose from. So if you guys are interested in checking out and getting yourself some Gamer Subs, please go to gamersubs.gg, and don't forget to use the code SHIEMPAI, SHIEMPAI, to get 10% off of your final order.
Noise.
Whew. I did it.
You got a breath in.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm getting better at ad reads, I swear. Specifically for these guys. So, today I'm sporting actually my own mixture that I've put together. I'm using Grenadier Grape, Blue Raz, and Dragon Fruit Punch.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just basic. I'm drinking just the Blue Raz.
Yeah, and I'm using the Varsity shaker cup, but this one has stickers of corgis.
Cute.
Yeah. Alright, so, that being said, I don't think we have any other announcements.
No.
No? Okay. Well then. I suppose now will be a good time to get into tonight's episode of D6. Alright. So, where we had last left off. Our adventurers going out on their first mission for the EHS, as well as hunting down for a man named the Stonemaker, found his stronghold, and after fighting through some earth elementals and accidentally knocking over some statues, managed to finally meet and converse with the Stonemaker, who had come off as unstable, if not slightly insane. Learning of the player's deceptions, or coming to this conclusion, began to attack, destroying one of the statues that could have nearly turned Bora into a statue himself. The fight was long.
Mm-hmm.
It was difficult. But you guys managed to pull through. Unfortunately, Rov Ironwood had died due to some amulet that had produced necrotic energy that pulsed and damaged not just only Virgil, but even Leodon, and then effectively having killed Rov Ironwood, the Stonemaker. Coming to the conclusion that while they couldn't get any more information, it would have been better just to bring him back to the EHS, where he could have been properly processed, as well as this amulet with rather complicated history. After doing so, running back in with Alois Azure, and as well as a guard that was about to catch them, you all finally made it home. You got some sleep, and now, today, within the EHS is a brand new day. Now, one of the main questions last game was, what did you guys get for collecting on Rov Ironwood's capture? Each one of you have gotten 230 gold pieces for your efforts in the investigation, as well as returning the body back to the EHS, and also turning over a rather complicated piece of magical technology. Oh,
You said 231 gold?
230 pieces.
230 pieces of gold?
Yep.
Okay. Coolio.
So, as the day begins, you all have about a week to kind of spend and do things on your own. Perhaps if you wish to travel, or if you want to do your own investigations, you're more than welcome to. You also have to turn over a report to Harleen Kapoor, which is your director. However, it is to know, you are welcome to leave out what you want, but there will be questions if you're found out.
Yeah.
I understand everyone has certain perceptions that they would like to leave out of their report, but, you know, paperwork is paperwork.
God, paperwork, always.
Paperwork doesn't change.
Nope. Doesn't matter if it's in the real world or in D&D.
Yep.
Paperwork.
This is what happens when you work for an official resource.
We didn't much have a choice. I mean, we did, but the other alternatives weren't all that great.
Paperwork? Desert prison.
We technically work for like 3 different people right now, so.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, no, you work for 2 separate entities.
Two separate entities, but 3 separate persons.
Yeah.
We had several objectives.
Well, we got one of them out of the way.
Cedra has 2 things she's got to deal with. One of which I don't know if she can do still, which was the monastery that you said is still in Killisksmire.
There is. You want to know what? But first, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go across the table. I'm going to ask you what things you want to leave out of your report.
Yeah.
Or if you want to have a conversation with your other party members about asking about being left out of a report.
Yeah.
I think we should ask each other.
Alright. So, in conclusion of the next morning, you all collect at the mess hall and begin to have your first breakfast and sit down with each other about what you are going to write in your reports.
Well, we were asked to leave a certain situation with Lord Crossout originally. But Citra, one, has to leave something out because she wasn't conscious for it, so she would like to ask the group if they could politely not say much about what they saw of her at this time. Citra is sporting her smiling face again. she's not as stressed as she was. If a little tired and still slightly run down from unfortunately losing Rav. But she would wait for everyone to sit down and at least get some food in them before just piping up going, "Morning. I know this is a little abrupt, but... And I don't want you to lie for me, technically. I don't like lying, but... I don't know how to explain what you all saw, and I don't want to deal with everyone else harping down my throat about it. So I was kinda hoping you wouldn't put it in your report. I know you, Dante, were kind of unconscious for most of it, but you did see the tail end of it."
Yeah. But don't worry about it, I'm not gonna bring it up. I wasn't planning on doing my report for at least like 5 days.
Citra would laugh a little at that, because she's getting used to Dante's energy at this point.
Yeah.
She'd kind of give a tentative look at Buddha, like, "Please?"
Bro just glares and this just does his own thing.
She kind of expected it.
Come on, bud. She's already got a lot on her plate.
He steps away from the group and does his own thing.
Alright.
Okay.
And then Citra would just kind of try to shake that off and then look at Leo, like, "I can't make you do it. It's just, I'd really appreciate it."
Leo sort of closes his eyes and affixes his messenger cap to his head. Flashes of meeting that thing for the first time standing over him while he tries to heal Dante go through his mind. He sort of makes a steeple with his hands and he rests his chin on it. Alright.
If it comes down to it and it somehow comes up, I will own it. I don't know how to explain it just yet, and for the most part, I just don't want to cause people to think something suspicious of me or that I'm some sort of monster, which would be an easy assumption, I guess. I unfortunately feel like I already have to tell at least Aloise about it, which I'm not too fond of deciding on, but what I can gather is that it has a name, and all it wanted to do was protect me and therefore also Dante in this sense, because I was panicked over Dante, and obviously it wanted to get Dante out of there, so it didn't hurt you, at least I hope not.
No. You didn't.
It didn't.
Well,
Right.
if it pops up again, because it's there, and if you need to actually talk it out of something, or at least try to get its attention, his name, he told me last night, was Sav. S-A-A-V.
Sav.
That night I woke you up, Leo. It was the first time I saw him in my sleep, and it wasn't the greatest, so sorry for the little white lie. I am figuring it out as I go.
I am sure it's not easy or simple.
No.
I can understand.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful that it got us out somehow, but I understand the concern that if given the feeling I get from when I meet with it is a little terrifying, I can only imagine how it was for you. I unfortunately cannot remember anything. I remember the pain in my shoulder and the panic over Dante, and then it went blank. And the next thing I remember was being pulled along by Dante in the alleyways. That's it. So I was also, unfortunately, going to have to face the ask of what exactly you saw. Because I didn't see any of it, obviously. Because if I have to tell Alois, I at least want to have the most information I can give him. At least someone that we're working for should know, and I guess for him it'd be probably the one I should tell.
I think if we're gonna... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Leo.
That's something I wanted to bring up with the rest of the group. How much do we trust this Alois?
I don't know. We already knew about some of his information when we met him, but what happened that we can't mention... Yeah, that sits heavy in my head.
Unfortunately,
it could be
I trust him.
argued that. Sorry.
Well, I could trust him as far as I can throw him, which isn't very far. But unfortunately, the reality is, if we're gonna tell Eloise, Citra, about Sov, we are gonna have to keep on the down low about what Alois did.
Yeah, which unfortunately kind of sort of ties in with what happened with me, so that's why I figure to keep the lies to a minimum, I tell him about it, and I was going to ask him, unfortunately, for what he would be okay with us admitting. But, like I said, if Miss Kapoor or anybody else in the HS find out about it, I will take the full blame, because it is my situation to deal with. But I also don't want you all also to be targeted with how much you know and what you know about it, which I can know, besides from what you saw, was next to nothing.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. In my report, Sov never happened. Fabian Cross never happened.
Kimmy happened, though. Because technically she was on our receipt of people to see, and he wanted us to go find her, so... Yeah. Excuse me.
Okay.
That was a dice roll. So,
Okay.
What did you see, Leo?
When you're surrounded, and that, I think they called him an Arknight,
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
was closing in on you. You started glowing with this golden light.
What?
It was blinding. At least the people who were around you acted like they couldn't see after it happened, and you... It was hard to see what happened next. I was clinging to the outside of the building when it happened, but... The next thing I saw was... Sav was standing over me as I was trying to go to Dante.
That's okay, so that would explain the night as to when we saw him on our way back. That was the night that was with us, I'm assuming, in that room. Or at least one of them.
The one that we came across that night on our way to the library was the same one that gave me the potion that probably saved Dante's life.
Okay. Well, that puts some dots together. I didn't know why he was afraid of me specifically, so thanks. Okay.
Damn, wish I'd known. I would have said thank you.
I wish I could have warned you ahead of time. The last time something like this happened, I'll be very honest with you, like, cards on the table, I was on my way to Killisksmire, I unfortunately came in contact with some not so nice people, and I had a blackout situation like this one. But when I did wake up that first time, those bandits weren't alive. Which is why I was really scared if I had hurt the knight worse than, I guess, what you said. But I hadn't met Sov. I just blacked out, and that was it. I was exhausted, but I have no memory of it. And then when we got here, that first night, that was the first time I remember meeting them, which wasn't exactly nice. And then last night, they were calmer-ish, but that's because he was exhausted. So technically, our group of 4 is kind of like a group of 5, if you really think about it.
Seems to react to your mental state.
Mm-hmm. That would be safe to assume. I'm not a monster, I promise you that. I'm not. I wouldn't want to hurt
None
any
of
of
us
you.
assume that you're a monster, Citra.
I know this is going to be strange to say, but from the glimpse that I did get, it didn't seem like a monster. It seemed holy.
Because of the light?
And the wings.
What?
Right, you sprouted wings as well.
Citra is very confused and staring at you both, just... I don't have wings! I'm a tiefling!
And that's what we saw.
Yeah, big ol' wings.
You also remember that there was a halo that rested between the horns of Citra.
Listen, I don't believe too much in tarot card reading, but now more of what Kimmy said, it's really freaking me out.
God, I wonder where she is right now.
Apparently she's safe.
How do you know?
Eloise paid me a visit in my room last night.
He did?
Basically gave me a brief rundown on that whole situation.
Well, at least she's okay. I wish I could say the same for Rob. That still is gonna haunt me for a while. I really wanted to bring him back.
It's a bad situation, Citra. And I know you tried, and it was noble of you. And I know he was a victim as well in all of this, but... well... he's not going to hurt any more people.
Thankfully. Citra just kind of, like, lifts her head up again, shakes it, and gives her cheeks a good slap, like... well, we did what we did. At least that's one tick off the apparently long list, and... We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. We gotta be.
Yep.
But, thanks for hearing me out. I know you really don't know me, but... one step forward with putting trust out there is, you know, letting people in a little bit.
It is appreciated.
I appreciate it as well.
Thanks.
Alright, so, as you guys have come to your agreement on what you're leaving out, you still do have time, it's just that this is a very early conversation to do so.
Yeah.
On the odd end, Bora, where did you walk off to?
Walked off back to my room.
Okay. It's silent in here. It's the first time where, after the thoughts of last night come to the forefront of your mind. There is this haunted sense that it doesn't come down to an easy notion.
Bro just sits on his bed, was looking at the ceiling. Just wondering what to do.
You contemplate, and eventually your mind continues to drift as you're looking at the stonework here. You try and follow the lines between, the bricks. It's really lonely. You can also kind of hear the ringing in your own ears, the isolation can come off as unsettling. Not having any conversation, not talking to people, it disturbs your core being.
I can't get anything. I can't. This is just irritating. Broad gets up and goes back to the room with the others.
Yeah. You managed to catch the tail end of that conversation. As they're wrapping up on figuring out what they're going to write out for their report. As you manage to make it back, there's all the eyes of everyone traces back to you.
Why are you guys staring at me?
The great and powerful Bra deigns to grace us with his presence yet again. It is an awe-inspiring feat.
I feel like that's sarcasm, but I don't know if it is.
I mean, believe it or not, you are one of us, so we're just poking fun at you a little bit.
I'm gonna start papping the seat next to me. Come on. Come on, let's eat. I bet I can eat more than you.
Oh.
I highly doubt that. So Rob sits next to Dante.
Okay.
He still doesn't know what to do or do, whether or not he should continue hanging out with them or continue to be a loner so that way he doesn't feel the hurt from being around people again. But for now he just decides to just enjoy it while it lasts.
Okay. I mean, as far as anybody that could have passive insight onto you, you guys can notice that Bura's trying to open up a little bit more.
Yeah.
However, as you guys finish up having the rest of your breakfast and having breakfast, you begin to hear the slight sounds of metal and clanging from the main foyer area. Not just only from the blacksmithy area, along with Alvin and Duger, Eager, and Greta, but rather the sounds of almost like a segmented gate as it's kind of being rolled and pushed along. and you begin to see as Alvin's kind of waving which direction to go in that aspect.
Is that normal?
I want to go see what's going on out there.
I guess you'll get back to your challenge after that.
I mean, we kind of already had it. Sorta. We'll continue it later. I'm not full yet.
Alright.
Okay, I want to go see what's going on out there.
Citra would just naturally follow Dante. Similar energy follows
Okay.
similar energy.
As you make it out to the main foyer area, you're noticing that bricks are being magically moved and replaced with what looks like to be segmented gate pieces, as well as like these large, almost arcane locks that kind of come and move together. As you see with what looks like to be a warforge that is almost like conducting in the air where these pieces are going. And you begin to see as the area begins to open, it leads out into what looks like to be this very open area that leads right out into the sky. And it's a slowly building room. A brand new table is appearing. Objects and things are being moved in as this individual is kind of preparing what is this brand new place within the EHS. As the magic comes to its apex and begins to settle, all these magical items and what looks like to be gear work and several different kinds of alchemy tools and artillerist tools, and this warforged, who is just clothed in old Lumerian style working clothes, he looks and sees that the work is about to begin for him. As Alvin looks towards all of you, having watched this the entire time, and now this Warforge approaching, sees all of you, and gives a slight bow to everyone.
Citra just smiles and waves, like, as energetic as she usually is.
Yes.
Dante just makes an extra exaggerated bow to be silly.
Yes. Hello, my name is Gabriel Olivier. I am your new artificer for the EHS of the Wallenstein district. It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Likewise. This is
Alvin kind of looking towards all of you. I had noted that we were waiting on this one for a little while, mainly because we had to figure out where the budget was going to be going, and then now with all of you suddenly appearing, and then also I have been meaning to try and get some artificer work around here done, so if you happen to ever need Gabriel's particular skills, he'll be more than helpful in that aspect.
Oh.
Gabriel, as he speaks up, yes, I am more particular to understanding the ideas of alchemy, but my professionality is being able to imbue certain items with magical properties. However, more often than not, they are a one-time use. But if I manage to figure out how to make them prolonged, I will certainly try.
Well, I don't quite understand most of that, but thank you.
That could be useful.
It is a very difficult practice. I can understand.
That could be useful.
Yeah.
Well.
Citra's Arcana
Indeed.
check is like -1, so she's like, I don't know what any of that meant.
You begin to see some of the other agents around here are beginning to kind of approach and see the brand new area. They're all looking like, finally get some fucking some magic around here. Christ almighty. And one of them out from the back is like, I suppose masterwork isn't the only kind of work. You hear Greta, hey! some of the agents all begin to look away and run.
Don't you be saying that shit in this house.
Yeah. So now the Artificer's area is open. Should you guys ever look for particular magical items, you'll be able to spend your coin here in order to develop brand new items that come along from Gabriel's efforts. Or if you happen to have anything in particular that you would like to be able to ask of him, he might just be able to do it, no problem.
I feel like the only thing Citra could think of in her tiny mind is how to make the boomerang come back even after it hits someone. That's it.
Actually, I would say you guys do have something, but
Leo has it.
I'll let you. Yeah, Leo
Well,
has it.
no, not true. I lied. Citra has mage hand, so I guess that can kind of work.
That is true.
Yeah. And Leo just got that scroll from when we defeated Rov.
True.
That is true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think at this moment, Citra is gonna have to rip the band-aid off at some point and go talk to Alois, which she's not necessarily looking forward to.
It's hard to find Alois when he doesn't want to be found.
True.
In fact, like right now, he's not walking the halls like he had done before. It seems like the only time he wants to be seen is when he is seen.
Yeah, Citra can respect that, though.
Yeah.
I want to go to.
It's a pretty aloof character for somebody so outgoing.
Yeah.
I wish I had that power.
All right. I wanna go to Alvin's place. I need to get a weapon.
Oh, okay. As you go and head over to the blacksmithing area, you see as Alvin is finishing up, kind of like after finishing that, is now dealing with the paperwork of, figuring out what materials they have for the week. And you approach and is like, "Oh, Agent Dante, good to see you."
Hi. So I got a little jacked up on our last mission, and I didn't think I was gonna get into close combat. So do you have anything that do you have any long swords, short swords, knives, daggers, anything like that?
We do have plenty of the regular long swords and rapiers and whatnot. But anything in particular that you would find yourself proficient in?
I'd probably go with a short sword and maybe one dagger.
Definitely have some daggers. Is beginning to kind of go through all the inventory and pulling out a couple of the daggers. They're not too expensive. That's how I usually find myself. Whenever you're going to a blacksmithing area, usually just do what you can. It's 2 gold pieces per dagger.
Okay.
And then a short sword. And a short sword is going to cost you 10 gold pieces.
Alright, so I want to get 2 daggers and 1 short sword.
Alright. So go ahead and mark off 14 gold pieces.
You got it?
And you see as the 2 daggers get placed down onto this countered area, as well as what looks like to be a regular cross blade short sword that you can stow away behind you along with your daggers.
Woo.
And you don't mind if you you know what, I'll tell you what to do in D&D Beyond a little
Oh,
bit
well,
later.
I'm adding the equipment right now.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, just a regular short sword and 2 daggers. Dagger. Alright. Is that all you need for right now, Agent Dante?
Can I get some more arrows?
Oh, yes, no problem. Refine my page.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine. Don't worry. You're fine. You wanna know what? It's 1 gold piece for 20 arrows.
Alright, then I'll give 1 gold piece for 20 arrows.
Alright. You're all stocked up?
Thank you.
Alright. Well then, thank you, Agent Dante. Hopefully we'll see you very, very soon. As all your equipment is well and stocked up for you. Out of the corner of your eye, though, as you remember the that librarian or the magus that you had met earlier, that is beside the blacksmith, you can see as she's sitting at her desk with what looks like to be that amulet from earlier just floating in space, and she's kind of just looking at it while also like having like multiple books in the air, kind of just folding the pages and trying to figure out what the heck this thing is.
Okay.
So that's what you see.
Okay.
And if you want to interact with that, we'll come back around to you. Everyone else, what are you doing?
I would probably end up going to... Probably also visiting Alvin, but first I would pop by our new friend, Gabriel.
Yes. Alright, Leodon, you enter within the workshop, and you can definitely feel the air temperature drop in this area because it hasn't been set to maintain temperature within this area.
Oh.
As there's also the giant hole that leads out into the open space. You can see as Gabriel is kind of beginning the first processes of inspecting some of his new alchemy equipment and kind of going through some of the scrolls along with what looks like to be this javelin to his side. Oh. Hello.
Greetings, Gabriel, it was, correct?
Yes.
I'm Leodon. Leodon Farcloud. Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you, Agent Farcloud.
Yes. My curiosity was piqued when you introduced your skill set, and I realize you're not quite set up here yet, but if I could, I'd like to plant an idea in your head. I throw things a lot, and in the field, it's occurred to me that after I throw my weapons, I need to go run over to my enemies and pick them back up.
So you are asking to see if I can develop a weapon of returning.
Those exist. Yes. Yeah.
It is not too uncommon. There are, in fact, a few daggers of returning. But, in order to develop a brand new weapon, there are particulars that I would need in that case. Of course, it would not be hard to make one.
What would you need exactly? And he sort of like pulls out his journal and like flips to one of the back pages and pulls out a pen and looks like he's ready to take notes.
Well, it is actually quite easy. There are a few particular items, rather mundane when you first see them, but the first is a feather of a great bird, like an eagle or a hawk.
Eagle.
The next item would be, in particular, is gold. Usually, while yes, this can be used as a transfer of exchange, it is actually very useful as gold is a great conduit for magic.
Would the
And lastly,
would the gold around like a gold piece work for this?
oh yes, a couple of gold pieces will certainly work.
Okay.
Of course, I will also want to be paid for my services.
Of course.
And then last but not least, I would need to find the runic designs in order to understand the conduit of returning, to which then you'll be able to attune yourself to said magic item.
Runic designs of returning. All right. Say I wanted a few of these. How much would something like that cost me?
Well, I would imagine that it would not be cheap. A simple returning spell, such as throwing it and it returning back to your hand, would not be too expensive. It would be close to about 120 gold pieces for my effort alone.
All right. That is fair enough. So, the feather of an eagle or another large bird, gold, and runic designs of returning. Is there a good place to look for any such runic designs? Do you believe any archives here would contain one of those?
I'm sure there might be, but usually there are other artificers who like to keep those sorts of things secret. And if you happen upon any of those runic designs, then I might be able to keep them privately, but it would be made available to particular customers looking to find it.
Excellent. Alright, well, this has been a productive first meeting. I hope you get settled in soon, Gabriel. It was a pleasure to meet you, obviously. And I will see about gathering these items for you.
Yes, this conversation was very nice, and one could say the gears are already turning. Ha, 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 ha.
Yes.
I will punch both of you if you make that joke again.
Where did you come from?
All right, so you've kind of collected on the idea of getting some items that will return to you.
Yes.
Should you use them?
I would also briefly like to stop by Alvin and pick up a couple of daggers.
Oh yes. As for their 2 gold pieces, it's just like
Sweet.
really popular today.
I can imagine. A versatile tool, good for a lot of things, not just and he'll like make like a noise as he's like making a stabbing motion.
Yeah, just yes, very.
Yes. Right, so
Not at all shit. Just
well, sounds stuff. Right, so 4 gold pieces.
all right.
There you are.
And you get 2 daggers.
Egg salad.
All right. So that being Leadon, that being Dante, Bura, is there anything that you want to do?
I want to see if I can upgrade my sword. I want to see if I can get a better sword.
Well, as Gabriel being the one to kind of have that conversation. Ah, hello. You are one of the other agents, I believe, who had also said that he would punch me if I make a joke like that. I do apologize if my delivery was not very strong. I do not have the same voice as I did before.
Just shut up and give me a new sword.
I cannot give you a new sword, but I can see about doing some enchantment for, of course, a certain price.
Name it.
Well, a simple enchantment in order to make your sword at least somewhat stronger would probably be at least a good deal of silver before I can apply the actual magic. If I was to say about 300 gold pieces, would that work for you?
Yeah, do it.
Alright, but keep in mind, I will have to keep your sword for some time.
Wait, what?
Enchantments like these...
Whoa, wait, what?
Enchantments like these take a great deal of time.
Do we have another mission coming up?
You do have a mission coming up at some point, but you know, you've been given a week to kind of do whatever it is that you want to do while things are being sorted out from your last mission.
Will this be? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, like you don't know when Alois is going to return back with another black file.
Will this be done within a week?
Well, it would be a rush job, but it can be done. I might need to ask some of the other magic users within the EHS to help me with this matter.
Not only am I going to waste almost my whole paycheck, but I'm also going to lose my only means of protecting myself for almost a whole week.
I mean, what you could possibly do is go over to Alvin and have him give you a new sword, and then I can enchant that one.
You know, that's not a bad idea. So
I don't think the blades here are all that expensive, so I do apologize if that could have been an inconvenience. Agent Watson, I believe?
Yeah, that's you got the name right. Okay, Alvin. Where is that guy?
He's across the way, and he's still doing some of the work. Leodon just left his area.
Is he doing work at his desk?
It's not really much of a desk. It's kind of like this open area that leads into the main foyer area.
Where is he sitting? Where is he sitting exactly?
He's sitting in front of the other blacksmiths that are sitting behind him. And just doing their own work. Just basically making stuff.
Is there a table?
Oh no.
Is there a table?
Yes, there is a bit of a table.
Okay. Bra walks up to Alvin. Then he kicks the table.
It's a long, wide table. Keep in mind, it's made to put stuff down.
Don't care.
Everywhere.
Kicking it.
And there's a bunch of stuff there.
Kicking.
As you kick it, a bunch of stuff goes up. You see one of the ink pots tip over, and Alvin looks furious.
Yo, can you give me a new sword?
Oh no.
You see, as Alvin Chiplock pushes up the glasses, he grabs one of the piece of papers which has now been blotched with ink. Down towards your shoes.
So, wait, he threw the ink out of my shoes?
He's like almost flicking off the paper full of ink towards you.
So
I'm sure arrangements can be made.
Awesome, thanks. Being social is not a bad thing after all.
Oh, Buddha. Oh my god.
20 gold pieces.
And is it stronger than my previous sword?
Eager, is it stronger than his previous sword? You can see as both, like, Eager and Duger are staring at you, daggers. Cross-armed. And Greta kind of going, oh my god.
Can I roll
Eager.
insight to make sure they're not lying to me?
Go ahead! Yeah, make an insight check.
18.
You would never question a dwarf's craftsmanship when it comes to weaponry. However, the thing that you can ultimately tell is that they are going to give you this sword, and you're also kind of getting the feeling that you're probably going to be paying extra for the damages you've done. As one of the blades are taken off the shelf and kind of just tossed at you haphazardly with the expectation of the 20 gold pieces.
Alright, so trying gold. Okay. They removed 20 gold. Wow, that was rude.
All 4 of that area collectively go...
Can Dante's like looking from, because I'm about to go over to the library.
Citra walked away as fast as she could when she saw what was about to happen.
Dante's like just fucking slamming the floor, like holding his stomach and laughing his fucking ass off.
Anyway, let's see. Okay, I want to compare stats with this new sword compared to the old one.
They're still both a long sword.
Right.
Yeah. They sell the mundane stuff. Like, they construct the weapons in ever the case that you either lose it or it breaks on field.
Oh, okay. So, it goes back to what the thing was saying. Get a new sword and then enchant that one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that way you still have a weapon while you're working.
All right. Okay. Now to head to the other guy. Yo, I got your sword.
I saw that entire interaction, Agent Watson. I have to say, what you did was...
awesome?
not okay.
What?
No.
Bitching?
I feel like that there might be a bit more complicated natures. I would like to discuss to you about the nature of your being.
Nature of my being? You mean how awesome I am?
Has anyone told you that you might think a little big of yourself?
No.
It's fine. It's fine. You want to know what? It's fine. I'll begin the process of enchanting this sword as soon as possible.
Hey, thanks, you weird little thing.
I am not little. I am actually quite average. Well, considering that there are thousands of us that kind of look the exact same. But...
don't care. Goodbye.
Yep. As you leave, you just leave a confounded Warforged in the middle of his workshop with a sword on his desk.
I'm sorry about that.
You can see
Leo's
the
just,
robotic
Leo's
hand.
just sort of like bowing with his hand up to Gabriel and Alvin. He's just like, sorry.
Man, the emotions of these NPCs are going to be wild by the end of this campaign.
Oh wait, I forgot I need to top off my HP. Coolio. Okay.
Yes, yeah, don't forget, you guys all took a
rests.
long rest. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the long
All
rest
right.
button. It's right next
So,
to the short rest button.
So we got Leo, Leo, Mara, Citra, you've long since escaped this area.
Yeah, she saw that and
Where
went,
did
no,
you go?
I'm not gonna have any part in that.
Okay.
Citra, I think, is gonna try and see if she can... Hi, Lo-Fi. Citra is gonna see if she can see about the monastery, but she's kind of keeping the thought of what that guard had said, like, if I see you back in town and I'm with my group kind of deal. So she doesn't know how to go about this. But her own personal objective is that she's got to go to these monasteries as best she can, and since they seem to have time, quote-unquote, she was trying to see if she can squeeze that in. If she's clearly not going to find Aloise right now. So...
I mean, as you remember, as per your contract, you have to let.
Yeah, she would probably go to Miss Kapoor first.
The powers that be.
She'd go to her first and kind of see what she can do about it.
Okay. This probably being the first time that you've ever actually been to Harlene's office. It is within the library, as there are multiple different levels of the library. The main first floor has been allocated to Haley here, and then on the second and third floor start becoming more official business, and then at the top floor, which is the fourth floor, that will start leading up into the castle town, is where Harlene kind of oversees a majority of the executive construction of this entire section of the EHS.
She'd given a polite wave, of course, to Haley as she goes by, though.
Oh,
good luck with the amulet.
it's just as you ascend all the way to the top floor, and what seemingly is, once again, just like, it's almost like this giant open area. Like, there's no doors really much here, aside from particular rooms, but all the way out towards one of the main areas from this top floor, you can see as you enter, it's just like an open area, center desk, rows of books, as well as what looks like to be just piling paperwork that keeps just following in. The desk almost seems always clean, just to kind of keep it clear as she's kind of going from one paper to the next. As she notices you entering, you can see one of the drawers get quickly closed. Agent Idlewind.
Good morning, ma'am.
What brings you to my abode?
I know you said about going anywhere we need your permission and whatnot, and I was kind of wanting to inquire about that, if you're not busy.
Yes. As some of the pieces of paper start to get moved over. And where in particular was it that you needed to head to?
I was hoping to see the monastery before we go on this possible next mission at some point, whenever that is.
Alois is currently held up by another matter for right now. He says he's currently going out and getting his next black file, which who knows where that's coming from. But yes, I can have a time and date arranged to have you sent down, and if you needed to visit the monastery in order to perform whatever cultural means to you, I'm sure.
Appreciate it.
As she begins to write away at one of the pieces of paper, and after coming close to a letter, it just goes. Would you happen to be able to do it tomorrow then?
Yeah, yes I can.
Very well. Please let you and your friends know should they also wish to go with you on the matter.
Okay, I appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And she's just kind of like gives it like a little bow.
Yeah. Yes. And as you do leave, make an insight check real quick for me.
Where's that button?
Actually, no. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Of course, it's a 5.
Not a hard thing to see. As you're kind of turning, you can see behind one of the large stacks of paper, a wrapper of some kind, like something you see for candy, like chocolate candies and cakes and stuff like that, but it seems like it was actively hidden away.
You know, having a sweet tooth isn't bad.
Please leave.
Sorry. She's slowly like, this lady ain't so bad. Excuse me. So if she's got that permission, she'd probably dart back to Dante, if anything.
Alright. To which Dante will be in the library, either which way. So, Dante, as you enter in, you see as Haley kind of just, like, still inspecting the amulet here. Excuse me?
I'm gonna do like a light, like, tap on her desk, like I'm knocking on a door, and be like, here, let's see if I can do this. Hey, Haley.
Oh, hi. So sorry. I'm currently, dealing with this thing. How are you doing, Agent Dante?
I'm doing fine. I see you're working on the amulet we brought back. What have you figured out about it so far?
Oh, oddly, a lot less than I had initially thought, as she begins to pull over one of the books towards both of you and begins to kind of point out one of the big things about history. So, in case you might not know, I am Lemurian, so lived for thousands of years, about 5,000 years ago, when this country had disappeared off the map and then reappeared back when our king was a shithead. I had, when I was brought back to consciousness, I began to develop my abilities in magical and the arcane, and understood hemiocraft as well. But my particular was the history of magical technology, and Lumeria being its pinnacle at the time, we would have known a lot more about something like this back in the day. Or if history had any mark, that it would have had at least some level of documentation. I've gone to every other major branch, all the way to the Al-Anon, and even to the Hollingrad, to see if I could find anything else about this particular amulet. However, as one can imagine, there's nothing on it. No documentation, no history, no anything, nothing at all about this amulet. And that's what concerns me.
So,
because this means it predates Lumeria, which is a very rare notion.
wow, that's kind of serious. How the hell did the stonemaker get his hands on something like this? Or rather, who gave him this?
Does Citra hear any of this yet, or she's just making her way back?
You're about to make your way there, as it's not too far of a walk down to get to this floor, as you begin to approach and hearing about this information. Well, here's the thing. There are multiple different kinds of cults and societies that most people don't relatively know about, and hiding secrets like these is a very complicated and somewhat tedious task. But in all reality, if we manage to figure out what this thing might be, we might be able to start learning a little bit more about what it was used for, or why anybody within the prime material plane to ever have it. But what I do know is that it does seemingly give off a faint nature of necrotic energy.
I think Citra would have heard that. She remembers that.
Dante remembers that too, when he was linked with Virgil.
Yes. Citra would kind of, like, run up to Dante a little bit, be like, it said some weird things when I got too close. I couldn't understand it.
It spoke to you?
Yeah, but it wasn't a language I understand. But it was dark.
It was in whispers.
And it hurt Rav, like it was... I don't know if it was necrotic damage or if it was just depleting his life. Just dark stuff. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just on my way back and I overheard.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, knowing this information, you've provided me some very interesting clues as to what to look for now.
I just personally knew not to touch it, so that's why I wrapped it in my scarf when I gave it to you guys.
Yes, I was warned not to touch it as well, which is why it's currently where it is now. And you guys see it's just like still in this small bubble kind of floating in space. Alright. Well, I'm glad we were able to have this conversation, and what you were able to inform me about was very interesting. Hopefully we still remain as careful as we can with it. The last thing we need is some kind of dark magic running around this place.
Some spooky stuff.
Oh, also, one more thing, Haley. Do you have any like scrolls or books on Gorgon's blood?
I know a lot about Gorgons. They were once pretty prominent during the time of Zahir, when he had overtaken Lowboundle some 50 years ago. That's changed a lot now. I don't have any books on it in particular, but there were a few researchers I knew back in... I think it was somewhere in Hollingrad. There was a couple of researchers that I have ran into that were beginning to discover a little bit more about their history and what magic that they had possessed in their time. Perhaps I can send out a letter of recommendation to see if we can get more information on it.
Yes, please.
All right, I'll go ahead and contact them as soon as I can. However, I am going to be busy with the amulet until I can figure out exactly what to do with it before they take it away and lock it in some box so far below the city.
No worries about that. You're a hardworking woman, an independent woman at that, so I don't expect you to like stop for little old me. So I'm gonna walk away because that's what people do.
Citra's just looking, like tilting her head and looking at Dante, like what?
It's kind of just like, yeah.
That was Dante finger gun.
Yeah, just the finger gun Dante walking away from Haley. Haley, just as confused as the first time this happened.
Citra just look at Haley going, good luck! It just kind of follows Dante.
No finger guns or finger guns?
Finger gun. She doesn't understand the cultural backgrounds to finger guns.
Okay. Alright, and just like you... And she's back left to kind of discovering more about her work. But yeah, that's what you've now come to learn about that amulet. You guys have no idea where the fuck this thing came from.
It's older than it's older than Lumerian, or it's a currently forged by a cult.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Yeah. So, that being said, as all of you begin to reconvene, you are left to the rest of this day as you begin to kind of spend it however you like. Citra, you do inform the rest of your party that you have been given, you've been given basically the right of way to go to the monastery tomorrow.
Yeah, Cheeto.
Is there anybody that will be joining her for that endeavor?
One condition, Dante, you're not allowed to steal from it.
Ah!
Wait,
What's
wait,
the
why are you
point, then?
why are you being a buzzkill?
This is a place I respect, so don't.
There will be no stealing from
Well, I mean, I won't
holy
steal from the
places.
monastery.
That's where we're going. Only the
Well,
monastery.
what if I wanted to go off somewhere else?
You need permission for that.
What if I
You're
can get
more than
permission for
welcome
that?
to attempt to steal from this mysterious underground organization that we are all a part of.
In Wallenstein? I mean, shit, you saw how many Fabergé eggs the dick-ass Cross had.
Cedra's just like, wow, to those vocabulary
Dick
words.
ass.
My purpose was originally my purpose as to why I was going to Killisksmire before this whole everything that this is happened. So, I'm just offering if you guys want to go. It's rather peaceful. If you want some time to breathe off of this place, looks at Buddha knowing he hates this place because it's so high up.
It's not like I care anything, but I would like to go
Okay.
elsewhere.
I will let Miss Kapoor know that you'd be joining me then. Because we all have to have permission to go.
She's giving you all
okay.
already
Sorry.
forwarded
Yeah.
permission to go as long as it's to the monastery. I mean, even going around Killisksmire is totally up to you guys, but the monastery being the main directive of your action.
Yeah. So, even if you were to go and then want to split off into Killisksmire, she'd be staying at the monastery for a good chunk of that time.
Okay.
We also still got that warning from that night that if they were to see us again with their group, that they're not about to turn around and forget they saw us, though.
Okay.
I just figured you might want to take a break from being up here and not be in Killisksmire only just because we're on a mission.
Okay. Well, I want to learn a little bit more about what you are interested in, Citra, so I'm gonna come down.
Okay.
But you gotta turn the other way about some other things I'm gonna be doing down there, so...
Don't steal from the monastery is all I ask.
Definitely not gonna do that.
Thank you.
On Thief's honor!
Wait, you thieves have honor?
Yeah, they do. We just
Come
may
on,
not
guys.
understand it.
Come on, guys. Please.
You learn something new every day.
Don't tempt me, I'll steal your weed.
I like to see you fucking try it!
You're just holding your ears, that's so loud.
Sorry.
Yeah, it peaked, bro.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I see in the recording, it peaked as hell. Oh, God.
Alright, and what will Leodon be doing in this situation?
Well, if everybody else is going down there, Leo might as well.
Yay!
So
Field
since-
trip day!
So since everyone else is jumping off the cliff, so are you.
I feel like it's more so he doesn't trust us to be on our own.
It might be that. It's a distinct
All right.
possibility.
He doesn't trust me to hit the floor, he trusts me to fly.
I mean, Citra's jumped out of several things now.
Alright. Well then, that being said, you guys spending the rest of the day getting stuff prepared and getting ready for your trip down to back to Killisksmire. It's not too much of an endeavor as the day goes on. However, at a certain point, Citra, early in the night, as you are getting ready for bed, you hear a slight...
Her ears would perk up and she'd go to the door, just open it like, hello?
As you do, you can see what looks like to be a 1 Daggix
Ah!
as he stares down at you.
Hi!
I wanted to have a discussion with you.
Did I do something wrong?
No. Not wrong. It's not functionably. Did you do something wrong?
I just didn't expect to see you.
It's a pretty pertinent conversation, and he enters in and seeing this area. It's been a while since I've been here.
You started down here?
A lot of us do. Living Block Z is kind of more for
Newbies?
newbies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much, but it's a roof over your head, so I can't complain.
Staring out the small window. Yeah.
So she just kind of like sits on the far end of her bed, cross-legged, like, so what did you want to talk to me about?
And he walks over to what is that small dresser area, seeing it, still not having much stuff on it, he just kind of takes a seat.
I mean, she's a monk, so she's not going to have much, so.
Yeah. And taking a seat on it. I noticed something.
Notice what?
About you.
Cedra's like, why is so many strangers noticing things about her that she doesn't know? This is 2 people now that she's never met that are like, there's something about you.
Let's just say I have a particular eye about this sort of thing. And one way or another, as I can personally say, I have a certain sense for particularly plain-touched individuals.
Plain touched? Would she know what that actually means?
This is the first time that you've heard it in any official term, but he does explain that plain touched is those who are, while they are of this plane, like planewalkers, the prime material plane, those who are born here, live here, die here. Plain touched is individuals that are imbued with a bloodline that comes from a different plane. So in your case, being a tiefling.
Okay.
Your bloodline would be that within the Nine Hells.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Where in my case, my bloodline would be within the Mount Celestia. Having magical celestial properties.
Is that that whole marking thing? Like, on his face?
Oh.
I don't mean to be rude, I just...
That is... No, it's fine. It's... I do have to apologize first and foremost. I realized that I had been more intense with all of you when my ire was more directed towards Eloise.
Well, to be fair, there was the whole Eloise thing, and to everybody else, we were technically and still considered convicts, I guess. So...
as per the tattoo, this is what happens when our convent, when you complete your final trial. And then you start professionalizing in your own methods.
Okay, thanks for telling me. It was just very interesting. I didn't mean to just blurt it out with no respect, I guess, but...
Yeah. Mine has certain properties itself, and he begins to kind of like point out a little bit closer. You can see along the lines, as well as the scribing and the design, it almost looks like jewelry dust.
Ooh, pretty.
Has been embedded into it. It shines and shimmers just slightly in the nightlight. In our completion of the trials, we inscribe the runes of our teacher and, in my case, someone more closer. And it empowers. And I also have very particular abilities, like having enhanced observational abilities. This doesn't mean intelligence, it just means I'm capable of picking things up a little bit better than most.
Hence
That's the reason why I was able to pick up on you as well as I did.
You mean when you were awkwardly staring at me day one?
That was
I
awkward.
mean, you were making direct eye contact. It just held too long for me, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a lot of social skills.
Yeah. Sorry. It's nature of the
It's okay.
job.
I took no offense to it. It was just something I didn't expect.
Anyways, the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I did take note that you have particular abilities. And I was curious as to how well do you know what those abilities entail. This is simply for documentation. I report back to my monastery every now and again to kind of get more information about the world.
Which monastery?
And also, I'm originally from Sobereth. Sobereth being the home of the Cobalt Soul.
Haven't been there.
It's very interesting.
Wait, is Dante and Bro still in this?
They're
in this?
No, you guys are in your own room.
Okay,
They're
just
having
making sure.
this conversation
Yeah.
themselves.
Just making
yeah.
sure. I was gonna make a comment about car bolts.
Any which way, if I suppose it's also of interest that if you want to have any information that might be able to help with your situation, because I know what you look like is tiefling, that being what shows, but I can kind of tell there's something else there.
She just kind of hangs her head because she hates lying. And she just got done telling the group not to say anything, but, like, clearly this guy has seen something, and the first night was literally because he saw something, and Sav wasn't happy about it. So she just kind of, like, hangs her head and just sighs, like, I don't know how to explain anything. This is new to me. I don't know what it is. All I know is that my mom was a tiefling, my dad was human as far as I could tell, and I was a tiefling, and that's it. I can cast small healing spells, and I can bap someone with a stick if I have to. And I'm good with a flute, that's about it. But, what exactly are you seeing in me?
I see something in you that I kind of see in my own self, but
Which
if
is?
something celestial.
But I'm a tiefling. That doesn't...
That's exactly why I was curious.
Huh.
There are things that I can come to know and learn of, but if there is nothing in particular that you want to find out, then I will clearly leave this matter alone.
It's not that I don't want... I want to know, because it's clearly kind of showing up more and did kind of sort of happen on our mission. But I don't know anything about it, and I don't really have control of it. I also didn't want to mention this in the report because I don't know how to explain it, and it's going to make me sound like a monster.
Listen, you don't have to put that in.
I sprouted wings in a halo.
Obviously, this is... See, as he begins to kind of think on that a bit.
And it was very angry.
Double check his
And
history. He begins to kind of stare around and look at, like, kind of just inspect you to the best of his ability.
whatever's there is not happy with you either. It really pissed it off when you kind of picked up on it. It protects me, as far as I can tell, and, we got into a pretty big pickle, and it did show itself, and it got us out of a very nasty situation. And because of it, Dante is still alive, so...
Clearly, there is a lot of questions, but if you are looking for answers, I will assist in that.
I appreciate it, and I'm sorry for the hesitation. I was terrified telling the group that unfortunately witnessed it anyway, and I didn't know how you'd take it.
No, it's fine.
I don't know anything besides the fact that you were angry and your name is Dagger, so this was a little bit more terrifying.
Yeah. I am sorry about earlier.
It's okay.
As per this being, I will try and do my best to research what I can for your sake.
Thank you.
If that helps.
It does. I don't feel like it's going, obviously, to hurt me, and it did protect my friends. It was more so volatile towards anything that was volatile towards me and what I was trying to protect in that case.
Yes.
I would like to just stop blacking out, not knowing what happened.
Perhaps at a certain point I can assist you with that, but probably not tonight.
I don't want to ask to lie, but please don't say anything to anyone else. The only ones that know are my group, and that's it. And the unfortunate knights that saw.
Your secret is safe with me.
Thank you. And she just kind of bows her head a little bit. She's just letting out all this air that she was holding in, just absolute nerves.
You can see he is someone that, while revealing plenty, he has plenty to hide himself, just from your own perception of him. Well then. Come time that I find out more, I'll let you know.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Until then,
Yes.
if you need me, as far as I know, we're just going to the monastery tomorrow. That was my original intent before all this. So.
Okay. Monster. And you see as he gets up and he walks out. Sleep well, Agent Citra.
Thank you. You too.
And the door closes behind him. You hear the footsteps as they leave. The night goes on. You all sleep easy for the first time since you've returned. And as for the next day, you will all be heading down to Killisksmire again. But first, we're gonna take a quick 10-minute break.
Alright.
Yeah.
Break time.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and then we'll be right back with more
ya.
D6. See you then.
Get some snacks or something.
And we're back.
Yo.
Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
Welcome back to D6. We're gonna continue on our story from here on, and yeah. So, give me a second here. Fucking cars.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It's
That's
mine.
my dog barking.
Oh! Lo-Fi, you're in the episode.
His debut.
Yeah. So, upon the next morning, as all of you wake up and get ready to head out, you all meet back up near the teleportation area. As you walk through the door, you see other agents are beginning to go out into their own sections of the world. You enter within the Wallenstein section, and as you enter this magical circle, the familiar energy, once again, as it pulls you through from this space to the next. You will find yourselves back at that old library that you had initially gone to when you first re-entered Killisksmire. Then the early morning, as you notice outside, there is a very light blanket of snow that is now beginning to fill the streets, and people having wrapped themselves in warm clothing.
Teacher's not built for that weather.
You are now. Yeah, it's nothing like a Celsium here. This is probably the first time you've ever actually officially seen snow.
So she just kind of like see that falls. And just like run out like, what is this? And just like pick it up. It is.
What's this?
I'm
What's
trying
this?
not to mention copyright things, sir. She just blends in with the snow if it wasn't for the blue parts on her.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh god, it's cold. Just kind of like takes the wrap that's still wrapped around her hip and just kind of tuck it around her shoulders like, haha.
Yeah. Dante, you're relatively familiar with this weather, having grown up in Killisksmire. And as well as you too, Leodon, as this is more along like what Wallenstein goes through a majority of its year, mainly because, you know, either within the higher mountains is where most of the snowfall, and then it cools off the rest of the country as it goes down. Even though that the way Erzheimel runs along the equator from north to south, the ecological results almost act very differently. This is mainly because of Erzheimel's rather magically inclined plane of existence and how that affects the weather. As you begin to kind of like transfer yourselves through the snow, you're up to your ankles,
Citra's
Citra.
just got slippers
just
and she's got like just a crop top kind of deal. She is wrapped in her little sash thing and she's just like, ooh, I miscalculated.
Yeah. Also, Burra, you're pretty familiar with the winter as well. Yimnen definitely being along one of the western tundras, which is pretty much where one of the major ice caps are for Erzheimel, and that comes in relatively strong on some years, and then by the time it starts hitting the summertime, is that people start wearing more normal clothes. But for you, this is not abnormal, and you definitely have thicker clothes for this kind of temperature.
Everyone else has a form of sleeve.
Yeah.
Wow, it sucks to be you.
What did I do to you?
No, you're just not used to this cold.
Oh.
Back in Yemen, we the cold built character and shit.
Yeah, where I'm from, it's pretty warm, as one can tell.
Can I?
I don't know if I should pity you or if I should be jealous of you.
I don't know how to react to that.
Dante's gonna start taking his. Sorry, go ahead, Leo.
I was just going to say, Leo looks down at Citra, who's sort of suffering in this weather, and he'll shrug off his overcoat and he'll hand it to her.
Oh my god.
Might be a bit big,
it's
but...
like almost like a full-length ball gown for her.
You know that comic of like that really big dude with his giant jacket, and then he gives it to the girl who's like multiple sizes smaller.
The one from My Story?
And so it's just like...
Or their story? Oh, yeah.
Aww.
He's like a big puffy.
Yeah.
You just lose Citra forever in my jacket.
She just vanishes. All you see is just like the two tufts of hair, and that's about it.
Her horns poking out the top.
Yeah, like the collar like goes well over your face. It doesn't like reach to the top of your horns, but your arms only reach about towards the elbow, like middle of the forearm for the jacket, and the length of the coat almost reaches the floor.
Her tail
with
kind
you.
of like lifts it up a little bit as well. She just wanted to get
Yeah.
I guess that counts as a disguise, am I right?
The most fashionable number, but it'll keep you warm at least.
She just smiles up and like, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't ready for snow.
And
Pretty hearty, and he'll sort of fold his arms, and now that he's not wearing his coat, you can see that he's got tufts of very dark blue fur that sort of adorn his gray shoulders.
He's fluffy.
Yeah. So, walking throughout the city of Killisksmire, being as careful as you can, you do notice that, the city is still kind of in a slight tensity, especially from the stonemakers' actions. But people haven't heard much after that whole scenario, and there haven't been any major reports about any more of these exploding statues. And it seems like that result has made things a little bit not tenuous, but still calmer than before.
Would Citra have been told where the monastery was at?
You do know where it would be at.
'Cause she's just gonna want to make a beeline for it.
Yeah. Is you guys traveling through, almost, half a foot worth of snow, kind of just stomping your way through, being careful not to slip. You do manage to finally make it to the monastery, which as it reaches towards Islegard, it's way off to the side as it reaches out towards that giant open area that oversees what was once a destroyed Lumeria Bay, or Lycia Bay, and now, like, more reconstructed. You can still see some of the scarring of what had been the epicenter of its turmoil back 50 years ago. These large gates, as they are emboldened by reds and golds, and as well as like these very nice pieces of redwood that just kind of span around the entirety of the monastery, as its general structure comes off not as much representative of that you would see within Yimnan architecture, but a lot closer to the architecture you would find within Alernon. Very
Sorry about that.
Eastern Europe, Middle European style kind of monasteries. As you enter within the main courtyard, you notice that there are hundreds of monks currently meditating within the snow and kind of just letting the sun come down onto them, as the early morning they all face towards the north in that aspect.
So, from what I remember, she was supposed to be going to each monastery because her previous master told her that it's probably in her best interest to. So I guess she'd probably be looking for the one that would be running this place as well.
Yes.
But she'd pause and look at the rest going, so this is where I'm gonna be? Do you want to stay here and check it out, or...? I don't want to make you feel like you have to stay here.
I would like to check it out.
Yeah. But for now we have to keep our voices down. They're meditating, as you can see.
You got it.
Alright. So is there anyone that wants to kind of still explore Killisksmire while Citra handles her matters here within the monastery?
Bro looks for a place to buy. Looks for any place for cigarettes. Rather is at shops, on the ground, whatever.
Okay. I'll keep that noted. Anybody else?
I'm probably gonna be looking around, probably for a shop and something else, but I'll get to that later.
Okay. And Leo, are you sticking with Citra, or are you going around?
He'd probably stick with Citra.
Okay. So, Burra and Dante, you two are gonna head off into the city. Citra and Leo, as you head into the monastery. So, we'll start with Leo and Citra. So, as you guys begin to walk within the monastery and begin to oversee a lot of the nature of the monastery itself, there is a lot of prolific associations within this monastery that connects itself to the sun. This being an old monastery from back in the day, you can see that the sun is definitely in that by association, also by association of the god himself, Palor. As you walk into the main thorough hall and see that there are still more monks that are meditating. Some are setting incense into sand within many bowls that kind of roam the halls of the pillars. And the main figure that sits just almost kind of swaying along, almost as if following a song that doesn't seem to play here. There's no humming, it's just quiet and air and a slight smell of sage and frankincense, in a way, as it's just filling the air. This large figure that sits towards the center, his eyes are glazed over, and the figure itself, very representative, and definitely human, a usual planewalker, but the form is almost perfectly built.
So Citra would take the jacket off for now and hand it back to Leo. Just thank you, since they're inside for now.
Yeah, he'll put it back on. He was starting to get a little bit cold, but yeah.
Aw, he's a sweetheart. So I guess she'd be approaching that one politely. If you said he's sitting right now? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sitting, swaying left
Alright,
to
so
right.
she'd approach, but she
Just-
would stop at least a couple feet short and just kind of sit on her knees and give a slight bow and try to get his attention by, like, excuse me? You know, just...
Yeah. As the form sways, as you enter within that space, you see as it comes still. A new song has entered this place. strange soul. A kind one. And a volatile one. As the eyes begin to train towards yours, you can still see they are heavily glazed over. You can tell that this man is definitely blind. I smell the air from another country.
Yes, sir. I'm from Acelia.
A place where the sun has ruled there for so long. What is your name, child?
My name is Citra Idlewood, sir. I was sent to look for other monasteries by my previous master.
What was this master's name?
Shadowkir Naravan, sir.
A traveler, then?
Yes.
Why do you come seeking this monastery?
I am seeking guidance. My previous master met me in a pretty tense part of my life, as you've already sensed.
Celsium in its age had found many of your kind are not exactly welcome.
No, they have not. But things are changing, but it's gonna take some time.
Like all things, the shifting winds revealing what is well below the sand. You would know this well, young Citra. However, it does not seem that it is just guidance you're looking for. You can tell that there is a tentative fear about you.
A bit, yes, if I'm to be honest.
Fear is a tool, young Citra. It helps us remember the importance of our survival. But like any tool, it can dull. It can be more harmful to use than it could be for its usefulness. If it is guidance you are after, you must learn to sharpen your tool and keep it from being dull.
Understood. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough my lungs out in the stream. I am here also with a friend, if that's okay.
Others are welcome here, no matter what walk of life they have.
She'd look back up at Leo with like 2 thumbs up, like, see?
Hello. I'm just here observing, is all.
It is fine to observe. It is how we begin to learn. You may refer to me as Master Rose Song.
It was very nice to meet you, Master Rosong.
Very nice to meet you too. Both of you.
Leodon Thorcloud.
Well, if it is guidance that I can provide, I can tell you the simplicity of the importance of training. However, training your body is one matter. Reinforcing your mind, using it in order to collect yourself, is equally as important. Like I said, fear can be just as useful as a tool as it is a weapon against yourself. While you will not immediately find balance, you'll have to walk that path. That balance will come afterwards. To know how to use it, to know how to control it, but also know what it represents to the very core of your being. Guidance is just simply words.
So, aside from the physical training that I know I have to do, I'm sensing that meditation is going to play a big key in this.
You could say that. Understanding key. As you can see, as the hands begin to kind of glow with energy. Unlocking the energy within our own life force is not magic. It is within your soul. It is the power of your mind and body working together in order to coalesce into power. As the hands come together, you can see as they extend out almost immediately, having this small ball of light form between the hands. This is not magic. This is the soul. As he claps the hands, the light dissipates.
Did I lose you guys? The music just went muted, so I'm not sure if I lost connection.
No, we're good.
Oh, okay, I was like, oh no.
You're good.
Okay. I panicked.
Yeah.
So I am to train, but it's not just one aspect. I have a lot to do. Leo, I feel like I'm going to be here for a while. I'm just giving you the heads up.
I mean, the more of us are out there, the more easily would be spread thin, and you know, I'm actually a bit curious here. This is interesting to me.
She just smiles and she understands.
Besides, I'd really rather not hang out with either of those two.
She actually does laugh a little bit.
All right.
So she's gonna choose to train both meditation and, of course, training in her monk ways that she's supposed to have been doing, but she kind of neglected for a bit.
Very well. As he gets up, and as you see this giant form, you see the uniform as it kind of comes over and flows down the arm, the other arm very exposed all the way down to this part. You can see this form is massive. He almost comes off just as big as Leodon, especially
all
for
these
a
large
human being.
characters and teachers, just a tiny thing.
Yeah.
Big.
We shall take you down to the pews for
Yes,
training. As the step comes down, there isn't a sound on any of the cobblestone. You would usually hear the slight plap, plap, plap of skin hitting stone, but there is nothing. It is quiet.
Teacher would
soundless.
stand back up by now, so.
Alright. It's gonna spend some time helping you train. And Leodon, as you begin to observe and even take in the monastery, you do notice the symbol that has been behind this man the entire time is that of the old sun god.
Yeah, he'd
With
pull out
that,
his journal real quick, and he'd just sort of, in between watching Citra train, he'd just sort of sketch his surroundings lightly.
okay. Alright, you wanna know what? Make me a dexterity
boy.
check to
Ooh.
detail how well you
I
get
know
this.
this to a T
Yeah.
as an artist.
Hey, 19.
Ooh.
19. You get some of the best detailing out of this monastery that will ever be in any book.
Wow.
Yeah. So 19
Yeah, no.
is pretty good.
Hey.
Hat top, take my hat off there to Leo.
Yeah. Alright. So, that being said, we're gonna go over to Dante and Bruh.
Alright.
See what madness you guys are up to.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Oh. So, as you two are walking the streets, Burra, it doesn't take you too long in order to find a place that will provide you with your usual accompaniment of use. Of course, it only costs you about 5 silver for the whole lot.
Wait. Oh shit. Wait.
Yeah.
Isn't he still broke?
Or you didn't have to pay up front. It's just that you're gonna have to pay for it when it's
I'm just
done.
gonna take 300 out for now, so that way I don't lose tab. It's just I just don't lose track of how much I owe, or how I don't want to
Okay.
overspend. Okay, so I have 5 gold. 1 gold piece is equal to 10 silver.
Yeah, 10 silver. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
cost you half a gold piece.
yep. So 4.5. I cannot do fractions in D&D Beyond.
Basically, you take down 1 gold piece and you give yourself 10 silver.
Oh, okay.
And then in note of that, just take off 5 silver so that way, that you pay for what
All
you
right.
got. Alright.
You sure you?
So,
You sure you don't want it? You don't want some, Dante? You seem like a smoking type.
I only like Jormungandr grass. The other stuff doesn't do it for me.
Yo, do you have yum liner grass?
yeah, I got about a butt for a gold piece.
How much?
I
Gold
got you. I
piece.
got you. Here's a gold
No,
piece.
no. You charging me a gold piece for that?
It's a pretty sizable bud. It's like that big.
Oh wow! Oh,
Like, yeah, I can pre-grind it for you.
Shit! Yeah. That's pretty good shit. Right. You know what? I'll give you 2 gold pieces. Give me some of that shit.
Yeah. You can see as he puts it in a small crank machine as it's ground and then pretty much jarred out to both of you. A couple of gold pieces. So go ahead, both of you add some Jormungandr grass to your items.
All right. So I got 1. Also, what was it? And what's the name of the weed? The weed I bought earlier.
It's just Jormungandr
All right.
grass.
So just
that's all they know it as. There's no particular strain.
What about the other thing I bought earlier? Is it just tobacco?
Yeah, it's just regular tobacco.
I don't see it in D&D.
We don't have that in D&D Beyond. I specifically gave stats to Jormungandr
Okay.
grass for a reason.
Also, tobacco is like a custom item.
I'm gonna put weed as my other one.
No, it's an actual stat block. You can look it up in D&D Beyond as an item. It's a consumable item.
Okay, let me look for it.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, specifically Jormungandr.
Yeah, I got the grass. I'm just
I know I know what we're talking about, but like
so just add Jormungandr grass for the tobacco as well. Is that what you're saying?
Tobacco you can write as a custom item. It is a consumable item. It's 10 uses.
Okay.
So, you guys collecting on your drugs. What else do you two intend to do?
Does this shop also sell like elixirs and potions and shit?
No, it's a pretty notable general store. I mean, as a general store, it does sell a small amount of healing potions, just kind of like, whenever we can grab them, we do.
Do they also sell playing cards?
I believe they do. Usually general stores, like anything from like the handbook is how I like to detail like general stores.
Okay.
Let's see.
Healing.
Let's see. Tools, playing cards. Yeah, 5 silver pieces for playing card set.
Okay. And then how much for the potion?
Potions. These are regular healing potions. They do, I believe, it's 2d4 plus 2. Okay. And that is... They are 50 gold pieces.
50 gold pieces each?
And they only have... Yeah, and they only have 2.
Alright, Alright, I'm gonna buy 1.
Okay. So go ahead and mark off 50. Go ahead and mark off 5 gold, silver pieces for your playing card set, and then 50 gold pieces for your healing potion. And then you should be able to just add that.
Okay, there we go.
You want to know what? I feel like that will be one of those things I'm going to put on my DM screen when I get a new DM
is the cost of things?
Yeah. Yeah. Saved me a lot of time having to keep opening up my player's handbook and ruining the spine. Had this player's handbook for nearly 5 years. 6 years,
nice.
Actually. Shit. Yeah.
Okay, now let me just adjust this. 7-2. Okay.
Yep. Alright. So, you got some healing potions. You got your playing cards. You got your general. You got your general Jormungandr grass and tobacco. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do, or is there any place that you would like to find in particular?
Yes. So, I don't know if I want to disclose this to Buddha, but I need to go somewhere. I know you got this thing against thieves and stuff like that, but, do you want to come to my hideout?
Yeah, I got nothing else better to do.
That's what I want to hear. Alright, so we are gonna go find the hideout of the Silver Smiles.
Okay.
Which has been shielded by the illusion of the Silver Lady.
It has been. Silver Smile has, more often than not, especially for the one here in Killisksmire, has been associated well with Sahanin, as once again, kind of the protector of those of the lost, the thieves, the takers, and also kind of just those who perform good deeds for the night.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys quietly moving throughout the streets of Killisksmire, using the snow and the footfalls going through. Dante, you see one particular individual before making it to the hideout. Was kind of just patrolling. The heavy armored footfalls. You'd hear the clang of the sword kind of just rattling around on the back. As you get somewhat a little closer, I need you to make me a perception check.
Alright.
Just Dante?
Okay.
Just Dante.
18.
The armor and the form, or rather the stature itself, is very familiar, but the blade is twice as familiar, as you've seen it twice before.
Oh no.
This is that Arc Knight that keeps finding you, and he has been looking for you. And this was one of the places where he last found you, and he's kind of just like roaming around this area to kind of see if he could catch you again.
Back. Is there any way I can get out of his line of sight?
I mean, he hasn't noticed you yet.
Shit. He knows who Buddha is. Alright, I'm going to change my face to the face of the lady from, Damien Cross's house. The one that I gave 3 gold to.
Okay. I mean, for what it is, yeah. It looks like just that rather polite maid lady from before. I need you to make a deception check with advantage.
Okay. Deception.
As you guys begin to enter the site of this Arc Knight.
Okay. Deception. Our Lady in Silver, please help us. Okay, and then one more.
Wait, sir. I'm sorry. For context, is this the Arc Knight that I punched last session, or the Arc Knight during Citra's rampage?
During Citra's rampage.
The Arc Knight.
Because the other ones were just regular knights.
Okay.
You gotta roll
all right.
again.
Yeah.
Alright, one more.
Ooh.
7. Wait, 8. 8 was the higher one. Vic.
Okay. As he begins to enter your guys' or as he begins to notice you both. Did roll higher on his insight.
Back.
Noticing you both, you can see the turn of the helm, and almost with violent glee begins to approach both of you. Just what do you do?
Do I notice that he notices us? Do I do an inception check?
Oh, he definitely notices you guys. He's coming straight for you.
Shit. This isn't looking good.
Frost stands his ground. Frost stands his ground.
All right.
He has his arms.
You just.
He has his arms folded.
All right. Shit. All right. I'm gonna do something. It's gonna be a last ditch effort.
Okay.
I'm trying to call my crew.
Make a performance check for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Lady in Silver, please help us. 21.
21.
As he begins to approach, you bring your hand up towards your mouth as you begin to do a slight notable whistle. Almost as if talking in thieves' cant with whistling. And as the Arc Knight approaches both of you. Well. It seems like I haven't been able to give up on my search for you both just yet. Where are your other friends? I feel like that their cowardice have also been rubbed off by you, Samael.
Dude, I don't know who this Samael guy is. I know you're hell-bent on him, but that's not me. And that's on Thieves' Honor.
As he's taken aback by this. And in just a few moments, you begin to see forms atop the rooftops. Also near near one of the major chapels that does belong to the Dusk Mother herself. Multiple forms, all having some variation to the uniform that you guys see on Dante. First there's like 2 or 3. Then 4. Then 7. Then 15. Jeez. You can see some individuals beginning to walk out into the streets.
I don't know about you, bro, but it seems like you're going to have a bad time soon.
Now.
And as he begins to kind of look around. This isn't over.
Yeah.
Samael or not, I had you arrested. You're supposed to be in the dunes.
Hey, you're supposed to go to clown college, but no one's complaining about that.
What is it this mud-blood Yimnan man doing within Valenstan, As he stares down you, Bora.
Really? You really want to say that to my face?
You see under the helm almost these electric blue eyes. Yes.
You have pretty eyes with you. I will admit, you have some pretty eyes. It'll be a shame if someone cut them out.
And you have such a pretty mouth. Be a damn shame if you were to lose the tongue that's in it.
I'm glad we're Bra unsheathes his sword. I'm glad we're having the same fucking feeling.
And you see as the blade, that massive blade, just gripped well.
Oh, well.
wonder who
Overcompensating much?
No, it's just perfect. And
Okay.
as both of you are kind of getting inching closer and closer together, there is a small group, 3 other of these Silver Smiles, the familiar ones that you had met the night before, or a couple nights before, as they all come out from behind the alleyway and start approaching, and stand behind both you and Dante. Should consider you're all lucky. I know when I'm outmatched.
Oh, what, you running away? I was thinking we could settle this right now!
But, I think that's...
No, he doesn't get away that easy. Especially after saying that to my face.
Can I roll an intimidation? But,
On who? Bura, make a charisma saving throw, and Dante make an intimidation check.
Shit.
What did you roll?
Alright, I haven't rolled yet, I just... Again, Silver, please give me... 12.
Fuck! Just narrowly beating it.
Okay.
You see as Dante comes out from around you as you're slowly beginning to wanting to pull out your blade, the eyes meet, and you've never seen this figure who has never been so serious. The face is begging you, but also forcing you to stop. Very representative of an old friend of yours. And you finally begin to calm down just a bit.
This isn't over, Arc Knight. If I see your ass, it's grass.
I turn to the Arc Knight. Don't worry, you'll get your answer sooner or later. But for right now, walk away, won't you? With a silver smile, if you can.
Before I do, if you're not Samael, then who are you? Why would you have his face?
Let's just say I need to borrow somebody's face to get something done. And apparently it was the wrong one. By the way, thanks for the cut in the shoulder yesterday.
Let's just say I'll have some more questions should things become a bit more private.
I'll send you a note.
Make it out to Cal Everoak.
Cal Everoak.
Is the Kalevere Oke
Whoa.
Everoak.
Hold it. Let me add that name as well. He's on my shit list. What's his name?
Cal Everoak.
Cal? Okay. He's just saving. Oh.
As per his official title, well, you guys can figure that out later. Yeah. As begins to back away, you see many of the Silver Smile entities that were there to kind of pacify with force of numbers, beginning to return back into the shadows and to what they once were occupying in that time.
You better be thankful you have the same expression as an old friend of mine. Otherwise, it would have gotten really ugly in that shit.
You better be thanking my crew for standing up for you. That bullshit. Die!
As you see as Helbram, as she steps up. It's not too often that we get to see Arcanite start showing up and causing trouble, but yeah, force of numbers, really. I can't really say that can always happen, but if you're around here, we got your back.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna pass 5 gold to my top 3 boys and girls. So 5 to Helbra, or sorry, not. Yeah, 5 to Helbram, 5 to Gala, and 5 to Menos.
Okay. You toss gold towards them. Rather, as Gala is all like, quite given more than usual.
I'm feeling in a good mood today, you know?
Yeah. Well, at least the gold will go down to some of the younglings within the lower slums.
As always.
As Menos steps up. What brings you here, though? I didn't imagine you'd be back in the city so early.
Well, I have a job for you guys. And I want to see if you're in.
They all kind of look left and right. It's the ever so exceptional Dante. I can't imagine why we wouldn't.
I think it's best if we discuss it back at the hideout. You know, not in the open.
Yeah. As all of you begin to find your way through some of the back end alleys, and of course, what is the stone wall is it's getting some knocks on it. You can see as it goes, and as you all enter, both of you find yourselves in this underground bar full of some of the more seedier looking individuals, but definitely some liveliness that comes from behind it. Everyone kind of keeping their hands on their face, and everyone doing their general introductions. This is a thieves' guild without a doubt. It's somewhat well hidden, it's well stocked, and you can see one individual towards the bar, heavily cloaked and hooded, with the familiar silver smile design that comes across under the hand, like this. And everyone that does see you, Dante, is excited and happy that you're back here. It's, not only are you a bringer of good times, but also a slight causer of trouble that everyone can appreciate.
And you all thought I was dead!
As everyone's kind of just clapping hands and giving you pats on the shoulder, seeing you having broken out of a near impossible place to break out. And there are definitely a lot of individuals kind of like looking at Bora, kind of like whispering left and right, like, man from another country. Interesting, slightly exotic too. And there's some other individuals just like, I swear I've seen those colors before. And it's just like, hey, listen, if we ever need muscle, that might be our guy. Like, there's just like tons of little whispers and talks, not just only about Dante, but also about you as yourself, Vera. Some people are rather impressed with your physicality being there, but it almost comes off as if like you're muscle for Dante as well.
Wait, okay. Can I roll insight to see if Bron notices this?
Sure. I mean, from your passive insight, that's what you're kind of getting. From your passive perception, you can kind of hear a lot of that stuff.
Oh my god, they think I'm like your muscle.
Hey, I wasn't planning that, but if they want to assume that, they can. It's not like we're gonna get into a fight here anyway. Everyone loves me. I mean, almost everyone here loves me.
Almost?
Almost.
What, you got an ex-girlfriend or something?
No. Got a ringleader here. He's kind of tired of my bullshit at this point.
Ringleader? I thought you're the ringleader for this thing.
No. No, I'm not.
That's surprising. Well, none of my business either way.
Okay.
Idiot.
Well, I'm gonna ask you to keep your anger to a minimum because we are about to approach, the leader of the guild.
What is the leader some sort of hard asshole, whatever?
It can be at times. And we're gonna go saunter over to him. The guy in the corner of the bar with the smile tattoo.
Yeah. It is like this long bar area, but he kind of corners himself on purpose, kind of just to remain out of the eyes of many of the members. As you take a seat next to him, and Burra kind of taking the seat next to you. There are drinks that are placed between the three of you. It has been a great deal of time since I've last seen you, Dante.
And who do I have to owe that? As I take my swig from my ale.
I will admit my absence has been necessitized. There are still many matters within Al-Anon that need my assistance. But as long as the Silver Smile is doing well within Bolenston, I have of no course of action, lest there are important matters that need to be discussed.
Exactly. So, what did you do with my cut since I got stowed away in Death Valley land?
Of course, there is payment, as always. And begins to kind of grab from under the pocket a small pouch. Something you might find useful. Places it over towards you.
I'm gonna slide it. Put it in my pocket.
Yep.
How much was it?
It is 150 gold pieces, as well as something else in there. Something a little
Okay.
long.
I'm gonna pull it out and inspect it.
It looks like it's an arrowhead with a very particular design to it. It comes off like these roaring flames with a very sharpened point. Consider it a bonus and an apology for my predisposition.
Were you holding on to this thinking I was dead, or did you know I was gonna come back?
I kind of figure you're not one to stay still for too long. You would have broken out one way or another. However, the stronghold within Killisksmire is far more complicated than we initially thought.
Yeah, I know. I tried breaking out twice.
Either which way, since I know you are a fan of using a bow and arrow, and you are quite the skilled marksman.
You're not wrong either way.
I apologize. Your kind is very unique, very rare, but it is because of that. It makes things extremely curious, which is also another reason why I like you so much. As tired as I am of your antics. And the arrow tip, as far as you can tell, is magical. It is a single-use explosive arrowhead. Basically, you can use it on a single arrow, and you can fire it, and it allows you to cast a fireball spell out of it, and then it's done.
Oh, nice. So this one's for a sticky situation, huh?
I've known it to be quite useful, especially if you're trying to keep things light.
Okay, I accept your apology.
But, just keep in mind that it is quite a destructive force.
What's
I slightly elbow Dante to whisper. Didn't you say this guy was an asshole?
I said he was tired of my antics.
Oh, so you're the asshole.
And now it's slowly looking like you are. Anyways, thank you for this. I accept your apology. And I appreciate you believing in me coming back. Maybe don't do that again. But thank you.
On the other end, there is something I am more concerned about.
What's that?
An Arknight is now hunting you. As the head turns, you can see the light glowing green eyes, as well as what looks like to be these scrawlings along the face, as well as that long, white grayish hair that has greenish tips at the end.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really want to kick his ass, but kick his ass. Like, is he causing trouble? Please tell me he's causing trouble. Now, that's like a good enough excuse for us to, kill him.
Calm down here, buddy. Calm down here, buddy.
I am not looking for an excuse to put an end to this Arknight. I only have a major concern that there is one who is after one of our members, and I cannot always promise that we will be there to help.
So you say that if the Arknight is around and none of you guys are there, then we're on our own? Because that'll be great. That'll be really great. Gives me an excuse to kill him.
And you can see as he's staring at you, there's something off about him. He does come off as a slightly older gentleman. But that long hair that just goes down for quite a bit, down a little bit past his clavicle.
Huh.
I do not believe you to be one of our ranks. So please, refrain from being too overzealous. My business here is, of course, with your associate.
Dante's gonna elbow him, really hard to get him in line.
Fine, I get the hint. I'm just gonna smoke.
Yeah, do that.
I mean, it's not like you're the only one here doing that.
pulls out a tobacco and starts smoking it.
Okay. So, explain to me this Arknight.
He thinks I'm someone else. For whatever face I stole on our last mission, it was the wrong one. And a really bad one. Apparently, he's the one who caused the ruckus in the last couple days with the exploding statue and whatever. So, even though we were told it was somebody else, it seems like he was the ringleader of that one.
What is the name of this individual?
Let me check my notes. His name is Samael Ishgari.
This does present an issue.
I don't know. He seems really dangerous.
He would be. He is one of the main 5 houses within the Cliffs of Thalia. Being the head of a house and causing this much trouble. This is provoking war in a certain aspect. However, if Samael Ishgari is truly making moves against the nation itself, it might be pertinent to use this information wisely, young Dante. The eyes trailing back to you. Keep in mind, Samael is not a man to be trifled with. He is quite zealous in his own right. And he is not an easy man to combat with. I would know. And if this Arcanite has anything to do with Samael Ishgari, it probably have a lot to do with what happened to that house 25 years ago. But I believe that story could be for another time. Given this level of pertinent information, I recommend you go read a book. I have other matters that need to be attended to. As he lays down some gold for the barkeep of this place. Remember, keep it secret. Keep it safe. As he gets up, almost as if melding into the rest of the crowd, and several individuals kind of like, still kind of passing through, almost as if when 2 people end up crossing, he just disappears into the rest of the crowd.
All right. Well, we got more information on this guy. All right, so Samael seems to be the head of a house on the Thalian Cliffs.
Cool. Now what?
Well, this isn't what I came here for, but I'm definitely going to bring this back to the others. Oh, right. Well, we'll get back to that later. But just stay right here. I'm going to go talk to my guys.
Knock yourself out.
Okay.
I'll be busy smoking.
Alright. Hey, smoking a whiskey.
I wonder if they got stronger shit in here.
Of course they do!
It's a thieves' hideout.
Bro,
right.
Okay, Bro walks around looking for a place, for like any place that offers like stronger cigarettes. Or tobacco.
You're only gonna
whatever.
You're only gonna get what I was able to give you.
Stronger banana grass, something stronger.
That's as strong as it gets.
Yeah, I wanted
like I said, what I gave you is as strong as it
it
gets. That's I don't have anything else beyond that. I know I can be pretty creative, but there are even limitations to my own abilities.
Fine. Okay.
Okay.
He still walks around observing things.
Okay. That's not too much of a problem.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to my guys.
So, alright. As you go and talk to Helbram, Gala, and Minos, what is it that you ask of them?
Alright, guys, so we have an empty house. As far as I'm aware, it's empty right now. It is filled to the brim with these expensive ass looking Fabergé eggs.
And they all kind of look left and right. I mean, it's not like we haven't stolen art before for some rich asshole, eh?
So, are you guys in? I think it's a little sticky at the moment, but if you guys want, we can either do it tonight, or maybe I can get permission to come back tomorrow night.
And they're all like, I feel like there could be a little bit more planning that could be done, but I don't think it would be a bad idea if we managed to have a couple of extra hands in order to help with this endeavor. Perhaps something else that might be interesting in there. And you see Menos have something bigger. Not just Fabergé eggs, but if this person is as rich as they say, as you're in telling us that they are, perhaps more valuables and varietals.
Mm-hmm. Now you're talking.
Gala is just like, oh yeah, one job in, one job out, and you see as they flip the dagger and then hit the table. We'll hit it tonight.
All right.
Alright, so where is this place?
Do you know a bitch named Thamian Cross? Mm-hmm.
The High Lord? They all kind of look at each other. That's tempting. Given that nobody's seen him for multiple days.
Well, word on the street is the bitch is dead.
They all kind of look at each other. Oh, that's some prime information. If he's dead, then we can clear that fucking place out real easy.
I know, right?
And Menos kind of flexing his shoulders back a bit. Alright. We hit it tonight. We hit it tonight. And everyone kind of slams their glasses down twice. It's just like, however, if there's anything really big in there, we're gonna need some extra hands.
Yeah, I got you.
And kind of looking out towards Bora.
Yeah.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Hey, you want to steal some shit tonight?
It's from way across the way.
Hey, you want to steal some shit tonight from Thamian Bitch's house?
Oh, fuck yeah. I always want... Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's do that shit. It's against my code or whatever, but whatever. I don't care. He's an asshole.
So tonight, we raid Thamian Cross's house!
Alright. So as your group as well as Bora all join in on this little agreement, you're not exactly sure if this will clear with the rest of your party. Speaking of,
No, it's not.
as it leads all the way back over to the monastery, Citra, you are meditating, and throughout this day, you are meditating, practicing. You are also gaining form with the rest of the entirety of this giant open area with the hundreds of monks who now are beginning physical training and performing, and you are beginning to pick up on their antics and their form just as much. As the day goes on, you haven't heard from the other side of your party in quite some time. And you get a feeling that if you probably leave them alone for too much longer, they might actually cause trouble. But as the day starts coming to an end, you see as the sun begins to start hitting the the horizon towards the south, starting to reach past, and you see the shadow of each ridge kind of hitting the sides of the of each mountainside. The day of training is complete for you and Leodon. As you give your thanks, they ask you to return to continue on with your practice. And as Ro begins to step out with both of you towards the opening of the monastery, you can see as both hands, almost in a circle, as he bows
She'd mimic
towards
it to
both
him
of you.
back.
He would also mimic it.
Yeah. May the sun guide both your ways.
Speaking of the sun, actually, my friend here, she doesn't really have a lot of warm clothing. I don't know if you have anything you could spare for her, just temporarily even. Like, I've got my coat I can give to her, but it's a bit, and I just sort of, like, put my hand over her head, and then I put my hand over mine.
It's small, it's okay.
It's more like I'm big.
Giggity.
As he comes to realize that, you know, this person is thinly dressed, especially for a country that isn't like this one, you can see is almost as if to wave the hands. There is a level of gracefulness of a couple of extra monks as they begin to bring out some scarves, as well as some form of like this long coat that would best suit a monk.
Thank you. Like, she didn't expect any of that to happen just now. It just...
Yeah. And you can see it's the same colors as the main gate here, along with what looks like to be the slight sun design that goes along the arms. May the sun always be your guiding
Thank you,
light.
sir.
And after one more bow, in hopes that you return relatively soon to continue your training, the gates begin to come to a close, and...
Oof. Well, that went relatively well.
I had a pretty good time.
I'm glad you did. It looks like you were pretty interested in a lot what was going on.
I love learning about different cultures and different ways of thinking.
Well,
My original clan, not the Far Clouds, the people who took me in were nomads, and we made our rounds a lot, and we got to meet a whole bunch of different people and see a bunch of different sights, and I've sort of taken a liking to discovering and learning about people. So this was all very fascinating. I'm sure you had more poignant reasons for coming here, but
it's a training I was supposed to undertake a while ago, and then, we all kind of got arrested. But if
Right.
you want to keep coming back with me, you're more than welcome to.
I would happily accompany you. We should probably find the troublemakers.
Probably. But also, you might notice things that I may not notice that could help me about figuring out what all the crazy is. So, who knows?
Indeed, just like I'm noticing that dog barking in the background.
Bark! Bark!
I'm gonna
Bark!
kick his ass.
Bark!
Oh boy. So I guess we'd start heading back into the city to try and find our two troublemakers.
If I'm
Alright.
guessing correctly, they're probably at that place that we holed up in after the whole cross incident.
Maurice's?
Right.
I guess we could go back there. Just, we gotta keep our head down.
Mm-hmm. And he'll tilt his messenger cap over his face briefly, and then when he
Cedric
looks
just-
back up, he's an elf.
Yeah, Citra just looks at herself, looks up to, like, kind of gesture towards her horns, like, I'm kind of got the short end of that stick.
I mean, you're wearing a new outfit.
True.
You'll be looking for Teal.
But I have
And
not
you are no
quite...
longer Teal.
True, but I quite have not seen any other white tieflings running around, so hopefully they don't notice.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Citra, you having the advantage of,
Yeah,
you know,
if she
it
just,
being
like,
snowfall
lays flat on the
this
snow,
day.
gone.
Yeah. Something you may have noticed, especially when it comes to the monk, is that they do dress very thinly, especially in the snow. But the constant movement of their body is how they manage to maintain their body heat. And even the area that they had pretty much stayed in, almost as if like a perfect circle had been melted away, just as if they're just the force of will coming
Citra's
from them,
early on in her training. She'll
prevents
get
them
there.
from being cold.
And
Yeah.
Leodon gets to witness that.
All
so.
right, so So as you both head to La Noire, in all eventuality, and I am gonna be a DM here. In all eventuality, as you two are heading to La Noire, Bura, Dante, as well as Gala, Helbram, and Menos, as they also head to the La Noire to begin privately planning how that they're gonna raid Thamian Cross's house.
We leave them alone for 5 minutes.
That's where we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's episode.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, I am going to be writing a heist.
Man, since I had those eyes on...
Dante and Bra go on a heist.
Ever since I saw those Fabergé eggs after Thamian Cross got killed, I wanted to steal all of his shit.
Yeah.
Leo got 5 minutes of just enjoying peace. That's it.
You know, no stealing, no yelling. This is nice.
Comes back to the
Not gonna
group.
last, but
Yep.
It's a good thing we're
Yeah.
taking next week off.
Yeah, boy.
I also got a new outfit to
All
draw.
right.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll send you more details about what the whole cloak will end up looking like. It's gonna be interesting, at least from my perspective, because I do have a few ideas for it. But I will let you know. Yeah. All right. So before we end tonight, we're gonna go ahead, do some quick announcements, and then we'll be off. So first and foremost, in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a new video that will be coming out over on my channel. I'm going to be talking about my dress up darling. I'm super excited for it. Currently Desi's doing the proofreading for the final script, and then I'm going to be the proofreading for
I said
my dress up darling.
Like, yeah. Agreeance.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And also on top of that, it's going to be on Patreon first, because I want to take more time, and thus, if I'm going to be taking more time, I want my patrons to get a first look at it. Of course, my patrons will be credited for it as well. Next up is How to Be an Adventurer news. Right now, I am reaching the tail end of the audio work for it. It's almost done. Mainly because the reason why it was on hold was, I had a sprained ankle. I had to put a hold on a lot of stuff. This has been the big thing that I've been trying to focus on to start with. So there's that. So that being noted, I know I have been in a few relatively important projects, a couple with, of course, Daito as well, which I'll let you know. And also, this, I believe by the time this comes out, the Scales Above has returned onto our regular schedule. So, if you notice that I am back over on Roll for Damage as Ignis Brimlight on Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I think, or it's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am back as Ignis, which will be your favorite sunny
So excited for
fire
this. I'm so
healy
excited to be
boy.
back. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I haven't played yet. All I know is that our new season has just started. That's it. But I do want to give a huge congratulations to Sean, who was the dungeon master for Arden Quest. You did an amazing job. Absolutely lovely. And hopefully we get to see you do it again. But as for now, let us return to the fear of the scales above. And lastly, oh yes, we have a Twitter now.
Yeah, boy.
D6, yes, D6 officially has our own Twitter. I know it's been a long time coming. I've put it off for so long, but we do have our own Twitter. All of our announcements will be going up over on this Twitter, as well as retweeting any fan art, as well as letting you guys know when the VODs and the podcasts drop. So if you guys are looking for a way to get more in line of communication or more updates for D6, please do go check out our Twitter. It is D6DND Live, or at D6DND Live. And there'll be some updates that will be reflecting that. I think that's just about it.
Just again, if you wanna do fan art, make sure to hashtag it D6BA.
Yeah.
Yes.
D6.
We've already gotten a couple of fan art pieces. I absolutely love them. If you guys have seen them, they're super amazing.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're so good, man.
And as well as our own players making fan art as
Hell
well.
yeah.
Jade and I are really busy.
if I could get like constant 3D models, I would have asked someone to model Brow by now, and everyone else.
Aw,
God.
Do a D6 animation.
Yeah.
that would be.
Oh God.
Sentiments
Well,
there,
first I gotta draw a bruh first, and then I got a little animatic that I want to do with Citra and bruh.
Yes.
Hey, nice.
All right. So, those being my announcements, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Blue.
I'm doing good.
How you
Again, this
now?
is Blue. You can find me on Twitter as Blue Kazanate. I play our Citra, the Tiny Monk. I don't really have much going on, but as you just heard, Citra's getting a new outfit, so keep an eye out for that, I guess. I don't really have much going on right now. Like you said, we're taking a break, so that's about what's going on for me.
All right. Next up, Connor.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.com/DistortionDevil. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tuesdays, I'm playing card games with my friends. Fridays, I'm playing some party games, or basically just whatever I feel like with whoever decides to show up. Saturdays, I'm playing Yakuza 5 Remastered. And Sundays are a bit weird for me this month, but I usually stream the Banner Saga. Yes. Be sure to check out Dead House Sonata, the action RPG where you place the dead to fight the living. Should be coming out sometime this year. And also check out my DM's Guild, where I'll be releasing the College of Distortion Bard. Hopefully sometime either this or next month.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. All right. Next up is
I'm Jade
Jade.
the Firefox. You can find me on twitter.com at Jade_Firefox, or on tumblr.com at Jade the Firefox, or on YouTube at Jade the Firefox YT. This week, I am closing in on opening up commissions. So far, I'll only be able to do sketch commissions, but I'll have those prices and examples up by the time this episode comes out, and that's pretty much all I got going.
Yeah. All right. And last but not least, my good friend
Yo, this is
Daito.
Daito Mudachi, aka Bro, the Half-Orc Samurai. So, I just released a Nezuko episode for KWC. It's fucked up. Not gonna lie, it's pretty fucked up. I mean, we have fucked up episodes, but this is the tame.
Yeah.
And we're still working on the Pokemon one.
Yeah.
So, right now streaming is very weird for me right now. So I'm trying to get a few things sorted out before I stream on the main channel again. Right now, it seems I'll be streaming at least my progress on my gaming, on my Gohan vs. E game, once I straighten a certain situation out for my YouTube channel. And for Twitch, I more than likely might restart streaming on Twitch with either Genshin or Elden Ring, out of those two. And that's it for me.
Oh, hell yeah. Alright. I also forgot that I keep forgetting to mention this. On Saturdays, me and Joe Cat are doing Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn all the way through Heavensward MSQ. Our conversations are lovely, and the voices we choose for characters are equally as lovely. If you saw yesterday, or if you saw our last one, it was quite interesting. So, anything else?
Nope.
Another matter is pressing? Alright. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And we love you so very much. As always,
Bye.
see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye,
bye.
everybody.